Hello members, good morning. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching Road Safety Driving TV. Now, today I want to teach you on how to change gears, and gears changing is very simple and very easy. I don't know what has been a major problem most with our African drivers. They think that changing gears is very hard. No, changing gears should be very simple and easy. Number one, whenever you are changing gear, remember that learning is mental. Sawa. Now, whenever you are driving your vehicle, don't apply more of energy. Apply more of mental information. And I know with that, you can be very simple, best, and good. Now, what I want to teach you today is how to change gears. And changing gears will help you to increase the torque of your vehicle. Remember, I'm discussing with those who are learning how to drive a manual vehicle. Driving a manual vehicle is very easy and simple, as long as and if you are not forcing the vehicle to move. You should control the vehicle to move in a simple and smooth way. I know most of you are in driving school, and most of your driving school instructors are very harsh. Maybe your driving school instructors they don't even have time for your revision. So this is now your best chance at the platform for you to learn how to drive. Now, as I show you, this is a Ntsa. This is a matatu, eh? This is a matatu. This is a matatu, as you can see it. Hii ni matatu Nissan. Na in this matatu Nissan, as you can see it, inabeba watu wengi. Hiyo haina shida. But this matatu and the small saloon vehicles you see, they are just the same whenever we come to changing gears. Changing gears are priced just the same. So in this case, this is our gear lever. This is our gear lever. And in this gear lever, as you can see here, the gears are just the same with the saloon vehicles gear arrangement. Now, in that case, don't worry. What you should know mentally, number one, is how many gears does a vehicle have. All saloon vehicles have what we call 3 gears. Basically, the known ones are 2. And most of the drivers, they usually say saloon vehicles has got 2 gears. They only know forward gear and reverse gear. But today I want you to know that there is an additional gear, which is gear number 3. And most of people really don't use gear number 3. They all think of gear number 1 and gear number 2, only 2 gears. And I know if I could have asked you before I tell you that vehicles has got 3 gears, you could have said has got 5, other 6, other 4. Are we together? Although this one, you can't really say that a vehicle has got 4 gears. But most and some of the students usually say that vehicles has got 4 gears, other 5, other 6, other hawajui, they don't know. Now let me tell you, some vehicles has got 3 gears. Gear number 1, we have what we call forward gear. Gear number 2, we have what we call reverse gear. And number 3, in addition to what I should say that there are 3 gears, we have neutral gear. Neutral gear is the central reporting base. Central reporting base. Hapo kati. Kama ina flow, achana nayo. Now, because now you know that vehicle has got 3 gear, forward, reverse, and neutral gear. Since you know that vehicle has got 3 gear, forward gear, reverse gear, and neutral gear, what are their functions? Whenever you want to go forward, you engage the forward gear. Whenever you go backward or reverse, you engage reverse gear. For the neutral gear, you should apply neutral gear whenever your vehicle has a mechanical problem or mechanical issues. That is when you apply what we call neutral gear. Whenever you apply neutral gear, you may be able to push or pull your vehicle. Without a neutral gear, your vehicle will get more damages. For instance, we say your vehicle has got a mechanical problem and your gear lever is at drive gear. For the manual vehicle has got one of the forward gears. And then you can be able to move. Now ukaamua uvurute gari. Unajua hata haiwezi enda. Haiwezi enda. Unless uichukue juu. Na hiyo ni kazi ingine tofauti. Tuseme gari yako imepata mechanical problem na ulikuwa umeengage reversing gear. Hiyo gari bado itakuwa na difficulties za kuenda. Now we together. Unless uifunge the other way round irudi na reverse. But kumbuka kuna zile ni 2-wheel drive, kuna zile zenye ni 4-wheel drive. So you will not be able to operate your vehicle. Therefore, that is why the neutral gear is necessary and is very helpful in this scenario. Whenever you are reversing and your vehicle has got a mechanical problem, huanga una damage gari yako zaidi. That's why the neutral gear is there. Whenever you have a mechanical problem, engage in neutral gear through the shift button. That is for the automatic vehicles. For the manual vehicle, you just depress the clutch. After pressing in the clutch pedal, you hold the gear lever and lever it down to the neutral level. You see? To the neutral level. When you have a mechanical problem. That is why neutral gear is very important. Now, let's say for instance, now you are applying the forward gear in a manual vehicle. Let us take that instant. Now, whenever you are applying, you want to go forward, you may use what we call the forward gear. And in a manual vehicle, we have 4-speed gear, and we have 5-speed gear, and we have 6-speed gear. Those speed gears, they are called forward gears. So don't just say that a vehicle has got 5 gear, 6 gear, 7 gear. No. Ukiuliza unasema 1, 2, 3, 4, reverse, neutral. No. They are just 3. Forward, reverse, and neutral. And if you want to elaborate further, you may say the speed gears. For instance, the vehicle I'm having here, this van I'm having here, has got what we call speed gear. 5-speed gear. 5-speed gear. This is a van here, and as you may see here, this is a van. Kunanyesha kidogo, so usijari. So this one. Hii ndio rungu ya kuselect gear. So this gear, the gear of mine here, this is a gear lever. The gear lever is used to select gear. Now, this gear lever here has got what we call reverse gear. I don't know whether you can be able to see it. This one. This one here. Najua huwezi kuiona vizuri, but I will draw for you in the next video. Now this gear you can see here. The gear lever you can see here has got 5-speed gear. Now the 5-speed gear, all of those 5-speed gear, they are used to move forward. Now whenever we say they're used to move forward, we mean we have the lowest speed gear and we have the highest speed gear. We start with the lowest speed gear, and this is the part I want you to understand me very clearly. And when you have this in your mind, it will be very simple and easy for you to drive your vehicle smoothly, enjoying your ride. Now, the lowest speed gear in this van or in all saloon vehicles, gear 1 is used for starting off the journey. And you may practically move around 0 to 15 kilometers per hour. The starting off. And you may basically move like 4 to 5, 7 to 8, almost to 10 meters using gear 1. That is the slowest. That's the slowest speed. Remember, when you have the slowest, as the gears are lowest, the same as with the speed will be lower. Remember now, as the speed is lower, the strength the vehicle has. So that's why, in case if you've been asked, which is the strongest gear in a saloon vehicle, you are supposed to say gear number 1 is the strongest gear. And when we go for the right tracks, right, easy to roll to dogo, the right tracks, you may say gear number 2. For the saloon vehicles, the strongest gear is gear 1. For the right track, the strongest gear is gear number 2. In that case, in our saloon vehicles, the strongest gear is gear number 1. Therefore, it has got high strength or high momentums with lower speed. With that point, now, when can you use gear number 1? And we can see step number 1, we use gear number 1 always and always whenever we are starting off the journey. You may use gear number 1 always and every time whenever you are turning on a sharp bed. I say sharp bed. Sharp bed. Whenever you are turning a sharp bed, you may use gear number 1. Another function or uses where you can use gear number 1 is always and every places where you have what we call traffic jam. Whenever you see traffic jam, you may use gear number 1. Remember that gear number 1 has got a high torque, high strength, but lower speed. You must maintain the lower speed. Therefore, you have to engage the slowest gear and the strongest gear, which is gear number 1. Now, as we move forward, whenever we increase the gear, we increase the speed and decrease the strength. So, whenever you have increased the gear to gear number 2, it means gear number 2 you may use them whenever you want to increase, whenever you want to start speeding. Gear number 2 you may use it whenever you want to start speeding. That is gear number 2. Gear number 2 you may use it whenever you are approaching or you are in roundabout. You may use gear number 2. Gear number 2 you may use it to turn where we do not have sharp bed. Whenever you don't have a sharp bed, you may use gear number 2. Gear number 2 you may use it in a moving traffic. We have that traffic jam which is not moving, very slow speed, and we have that traffic which has got that movement. You may use gear number 2. Now, whenever you apply a speed bump, you may use gear number 2. Or if that one is a severe bump, you may use gear number 1, depending with the type of the bump. You may use gear number 2. Now, those are the functions and uses of gear number 2. Whenever you increase the gear to gear number 3, you increase the speed and decrease the strength. Therefore, whenever you engage gear number 3, you are going to use gear number 3 whenever you want to overtake. Whenever you increase the gear to gear number 3, it means gear number 3, you use it whenever you have a clear road. Now you want to move. Unataka kuenda. Non-stop moving, use gear number 3. Whenever you want to overtake, use gear number 3. Are we together? Fine. Good. Gear number 4. Whenever you increase the gear, you increase the speed and you decrease the strength. Therefore, gear number 4, you may use it to drive it in a highway or where the road is clear. The same as with gear number 5. But this one will depend with which vehicle you are driving, because each vehicle has got its speed gears. Are we together? Yes. So gear number 4 and 5, they almost and usually performs almost the same. Whenever you are approaching a hillside or a downhill side, kind of the road, most of you now, I know that is where now more and most of the questions usually come from. Whenever you are approaching an uphill or a steep ascent, in that case, the strength that you are applying, the speed that you came with, that's the speed that will determine the gear that you are going to make it with the full of that hillside. But in most cases, in most areas, the appropriate gear to approach a hillside or an uphill is either gear number 2, gear number 3. And obviously, you have to play around gear number 2, gear number 3, gear number 2, gear number 3. You start with gear number 1, You engage gear number 2, you engage gear number 3, you engage gear number 2, umalize murima. You change the gears up and down until you are off from the hilly side. Down the hill, it is very advisable that you do not apply accelerator. Down the hill, do not apply accelerator. Rather, be prepared to cool down the speed, the higher speed to lower speed. I know most of you have been asking yourself these questions. Now you have the best platform here. Kindly, I may request of you, don't watch without subscribing. Hit the subscription bell, put on the notification bell, and remember to like, share this channel with your family and friends. I'm telling you that this is the best platform where you can learn how to drive with an expert. And I am your expert instructor, David. Remember, you can reach me through 0707 201 073. I am located in Nairobi, so whenever you are within the environs of Nairobi, you may call me or WhatsApp me, ask me a question. Maybe you want to come for more practice with the manual vehicle. I'll be there and ready to help you practice how to drive with a manual vehicle and become a competent driver. Remember, the passion I'll teach you, the passion I'll use to teach you with will determine how you are going to learn. I am positive. I want to be positive. I have the positive mind and I have got a cool and good learning environment. The same I want you to have. If you have a conducive learning environment, you will never learn anything. You will never enjoy it. And I know learning how to drive a manual vehicle is very good and very sweet. Thank you very much again for subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing this with your family and friends and your loved one. And I know, and if you're in driving school, don't just learn here with me alone. Share with your classmates. Let them still learn how to drive as a team. Okay? Now, we are done with downhill and uphill. Let me now go to highways and the speed. Whenever you use gear number 1, that's the speed between 0 to 15. From 20 to 35 is gear number 2. From 40 to 50 to 60, that is gear number 3. From 60, 70 to 80, that is gear number 4. From 80 to 110, that is gear number 5. From 0 to 35, that is gear number 1. From 20 to 30, that is gear number 2. From 35, 40, 45, that is gear number 3. 40, 50, 60, 70, that is gear number 4. 70, 80, 90, 110, that is gear number 5. Remember that whenever you use the gears appropriate, you manage the fuel consumption to be low. Remember, whenever you choose the appropriate gear in an appropriate the type of the road you are traveling in, you are minimizing the fuel consumption. Remember that taking good care of your vehicle by taking it to be done as good service, taking a vehicle to the fueling station, you add the fuel before the fuel is empty, is a good way of maintaining your vehicle. Remember that adjusting or adding the appropriate pressure to your tires is the best way of preventing your vehicle. So kindly learn with me, ask me the question, and I'm gonna answer you and give you all the answers you want for your running, for your learning. And I know whenever you be on the road, you will be a competent driver and you will be always in a good position. And remember, every time you are driving, you must make sure to carry these documents with you. For non-PSV drivers, make sure you carry your valid driving license. Make sure that your vehicle has got a valid insurance certificate. Make sure that your vehicle has got a valid and inspected sticker. Whenever you have those 3 documents and you display your number plate appropriate, then you are the best. For the PSV drivers, on those documents I've named, add PSV badge, add PSV license stamp, and make sure that your vehicle has got what we call address pale kwa mlango ya dereva. And make sure if you are not an Uber or a private driver, make sure and ensure that you have a road license, TLB, Transport and Licensing Board usually gives those PSV, those public vehicles road license. That is for public vehicles. They must have a TSP, Transport Service Road, Transport Service Road wa TLB. Sikubuki vizuri ni hiyo, matatu wanaitishangwa. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, share with your family and friends, and I know that you can learn how to be a driver. And I know with this, I am good. Remember that our classes is always Monday, Friday, 10:30. We are live. Ask me the question, I'm gonna give you exactly and direct to the point. Whenever I finish up with this, I'll bring more episodes on how to drive manual vehicles. I'll bring more episodes on how to drive automatic vehicles. I'll drive and show you even how to penetrate in of the town CBD and out of the town CBD. And I'm going to teach you your rights as a driver. And for those who are in driving schools, I'm going to give you a revision and questions which mostly Ntsa usually ask. Thank you very much for tuning in. I believe in you. I know you are the best driver and that you can do it. Now, believe the same, it's gonna happen, and put more in practice. Exercise will help you to be the best on the road. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Thank you.